through his own actions based on his own beliefs. So Boruto has only used wind style breakthrough against his closest people. His two fathers. Okay, yes, these are different topics, I feel like. I don't remember what the delta point was. But she was right.
Against wind style breakthrough against two people? I only
Yeah, so the first time he used wind style breakthrough was against Naruto,
yeah.
right before he died, and he used wind style breakthrough against
yeah.
Hidari.
No,
so,
that wasn't that
yeah.
Wasn't that a different wind style jutsu? Wasn't that just Gale Palm?
I'm pretty sure it was
Yeah,
Gale Palm
it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fundamentally basically the same thing, but it was tactically two different jutsu, unless it's two different translations, and the Gale Palm's just wrong the first time.
I think it is because I'm pretty sure I watched a video about this, and they did say it was breakthrough. That's why I wrote it down.
Well, yeah, the this chapter was breakthrough. We translated live, but
No,
the first one, I know.
The first one, I'm pretty sure it was breakthrough based on the video I watched.
Okay.
Because they were describing the difference between Gale Palm.
It does say Gale Palm.
Well, it says Gale Palm in one translation. Anyways.
Yeah.
So because he did that against Naruto and he's doing this against Hidari, I was wondering, what if Hidari was Sasuke? Because Sasuke is someone that's so close to Boruto, and Boruto used the wind style breakthrough against someone who he's so close to. So I'm wondering if he's using it against someone who he's close to here on Hidari, which could be evidence that Hidari might be Sasuke.
But that's actually a really good theory. I've never heard that. That's the first time I've heard that, though. But
I did, yeah. I was thinking about it,
honestly,
reading the chapter. I was like, wow, that's like a really interesting parallel. And like Naruto and Sasuke are always paralleled, and so it just makes sense that Hidari might be Sasuke.
Yeah, because I guess like uncles are kind of like fathers in anime, so like he called him Uncle Sasuke, so I feel like that just tracks perfectly.
Yeah, like
one thing that I did notice is that one of the
yeah. Go ahead.
Wait, sorry. What'd you say, Immortal?
I was gonna say one of the things I've noticed in Boruto 2 Vortex, one of the primary themes is pretty much identity and legacy. How each of the characters.
Wait, what makes you say that?
Well, for starters, Hidari's trying to figure out who he is. And so because he's the Ten Tails clone of Sasuke and he was born like a few days ago, he's literally questioning his own existence. What is his purpose?
So you agree?
And this is reminiscent to when yeah.
Okay, cool.
So this was reminiscent to when Sasuke, like after the events of the Fourth Christian War and everything before that, prior to that, leading up to the blank period where he's literally questioning his purpose at this given point after trying to go into his redemption arc. It's almost the same thing. So it's like Hidari is trying to figure out who he is in the same way Sasuke was, and up until after the blank period, he gets married to Sakura, and the events of Sasuke Shinden and everything else.
So wait, out of curiosity, is this something you've been like thinking about for a while? This Hidari Sasuke connection?
So yeah, because like here's the thing. I don't know if this also applies to Sarada, because I think she's still trying to figure out who she is, despite the fact that she already knows what she wants to be. If I'm not,
I don't think she cares, honestly. Actually, Chapter 11 makes it seem like she didn't give a shit about answering that question.
Yeah. And then, what else? I think.
Well, what I was wondering, what was the first moment that made you think about comparing Hidari and Sasuke? Like, what was like the moment when you're like, oh yeah, there's a connection? Like, how early were you thinking there?
I think when I would say when when he came in, when he was first introduced, and Boruto was just shocked, like he's seen a ghost.
Oh, holy crap! Really? All the way back
Oodie, when did you first think about it?
Well, it was after reading chapter 12, and I saw the wind style breakthrough, and it's not actually from that. It was only when I went back to reread the code arc, and I noticed he was using the wind style breakthrough against Naruto, that I was making the connection that Hidari is connected to Sasuke, possibly. So I thought it was a really interesting theory.
I feel like it's unfair to have made that connection too early. It kind of just seems like a shot in the dark.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really interesting theory, but it is a little bit of a conspiracy theory, I will admit. Considering, like, we don't even know who Jura is yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For all we know,
we don't even know
he
Bug's
could be
name. And
Yeah.
like
Well,
Hidari doesn't
yeah.
look like Sasuke anyway, so to make the connection
Exactly.
might just be a bit of a long shot anyway, but you know.
Like, it's not even that
possible.
he doesn't look like Sasuke to us, it's the fact that in universe he's just unidentifiable.
I mean, Start, I can't see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Sarada didn't even know that Hidari had possessed any of Sasuke's jutsu. But we all know that Hidari is going to be the key to freeing Sasuke. Now that we know that he has something at his core, like the Thorn Soul.
Oh, that's
Well,
another
that
good
could just be a
point.
coincidence. Hypothetically, the Bug Thorn Soul could do the same, but I think the Wind Style
Yeah.
Breakthrough is what really sells that theory.
No, that's actually a good point, though.
I think it's kinda
because
crazy.
Hidari does have a
Yeah.
couple of Sasuke's jutsu. So I never thought about it like that before.
Yeah. Like Chidori and he has Chidori, and that's the only thing I've seen thus far from Sasuke's
Well, so does
arsenal.
Sarda, though. So by that
Yeah.
logic, you know, like Hidari could just be Sarda.
Oh, yeah, true. Well,
I was kind of a little bit upset at Hidari's death. Like, I feel like this was way too early to kill him off.
Is it because of the Sasuke connection that you're saying that? Probably because of the Wind Style Breakthrough.
Well, I think it was mainly because I felt like they could have done a lot more with Hidari, like shown us like other powers and abilities other than going into the claw marks, Chidori, and
Like Wind Style Breakthrough, maybe?
yeah.
Out of curiosity, so assuming Hidari's dead, for sure,
Mhm.
would you have preferred that Boruto
assuming.
killed him with Wind Style Breakthrough instead of Rasengan Uzuhiko for the parallel to the Code Arc?
Or to parallel Sasuke, would you prefer if Hidari got bit by a claw grime and turned into a tree?
Would that actually just make Hidari a lot stronger? Or would
Well,
that
no,
just
Hidari
turn
would just be a
into-
treat then, like Sasuke.
Yeah,
Then that would just
it would
be
lead to
a
the
war.
birth of a Hidari Shinju.
And then that
Or-
Shinju would
Maybe to make it a little bit more inverted reflection, by Hidari, and then he turns into a tree.
That could be interesting to like subvert our expectations.
Like Cho would be a good candidate. She likes to eat things, so maybe she just like sees them as food.
Yeah. Or even if Hidari bites another claw grime, that could be interesting as well. And then we could also, if Hidari turns into a tree from that, we could get a claw grime Shinju.
Wouldn't that just be a 10 tails?
Oh, that's freaking awesome.
Humanoid.
That'd be an awesome villain.
That would just be like 10 tails. Yo, just think about it like this. That would be a 10 tails amp on top of another 10 tails amp.
Yeah, and then he could
Yeah.
fight, like, because that's like
That
the
would just be
monster
double
of
the power.
monsters. Otsutsuki is of Otsutsuki, and then he would fight the ninja of all ninjas, Boruto, the most human of all of humans, despite
Yeah.
being Otsutsuki. His humanity remains
The
intact.
10 tails of 10 tails could maybe possess the Shinjutsu of Shinjutsu.
I'm still waiting for Code to become a 10 tails himself.
Out of curiosity, if Code does do that, do you think it'll be able to Hidari with the Wind Style Breakthrough Jutsu?
Say that again.
Well, hypothetically, if Code becomes a tree or a 10 tails like Sasuke, do you think they'll keep the parallel going where Boruto uses Wind Style Breakthrough on him?
I don't think so. They might do something a lot different. I
How
think
come?
Boruto just.
You don't think Code is a good parallel to Sasuke?
No, not even the slightest.
Well,
Really?
but Code is the
What do you
one
think?
that defeated Sasuke. And so if Code defeats Hidari, that might confirm
Well, actually-
that Hidari is Sasuke.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting.
So it would be nice
That would be
to
very interesting.
get confirmation of where Hidari came from.
Yeah. More specifically, like how are the Shinjus created? Because we know that the chakra of the individuals within the tree is being used. We just don't know like in what way is it being used.
Yeah, and we still don't know who either.
So it's
Let
like
alone how.
we have. So I feel like that Jorah Jorah is not what we expected. As in, like, he isn't like the others. They could potentially possess a soul thorn, they all could potentially possess soul thorns. Maybe their soul thorns could be different, but it's been implied that Jorah is the incarnation of the Ten Tails. So maybe killing him is not going to be that easy as what Boruto did with Hidari with the Uzuhiko as Rasengan, not really at full power, but it was strong enough to pretty much, destroy Hidari and deal maximum damage on him. But could Jorah possess a soul thorn?
Well, that's a really interesting idea.
Well, he could, yeah.
I think it's pretty clear and obvious the connection between Moegi and Bug to Matsuri and the Bug Shinju. But I think it's also a very important narrative fact that the two mystery Shinju, Jura and Hidari, the fact that we still don't know where they are coming from, that they're paired up together not only in the plot but also in the story. And so I think because Hidari has a soul thorn, it would make sense that Jura has a soul thorn, considering we still don't know whose person they're coming from in the first place.
Exactly. That's why Hidari doesn't know who he is.
Yeah. As opposed to someone like Bug and Matsuri, who immediately knew who their target were and why. Immortal.
Thoughts?
What's that? Oh, sorry. Say it again. I was reading some comments in the chat.
Which chat? Ours?
Well, out of curiosity, do any of the comments have anything to say?
Code is way too different than Sasuke. A lot go times really good characters to be hard to let go in the anime. Shout out Sean. What's good, everybody? What's up, Sean? I have nothing to say for Boruto. Well, shout out Nikolay. The manga has been going on since 2016, and we are still speculating if the Jogan is canon or not. Can something happen already? How much longer are they going to keep dragging this out? That's a good question.
That's actually crazy. That's 8 years.
That was pretty much 8 years.
No, fair enough.
Hopefully, they don't keep Hidari's identity hidden for that long.
Even if he's gone, I would still like confirmation.
Well, they said that. I know this isn't really further confirmation that Hidari is Sasuke, but they kept mentioning how they said, like, when they were talking about Hidari, when Boruto's talking about Hidari, he mentions this guy is using Sasuke's chakra as if he's like pretty much he's an entirely different like person, like a different entity.
Exactly, and it's just like how Naruto. Yeah, Naruto is using the Nine Tails chakra, but Naruto and the Nine Tails are obviously two separate entities. So it is really weird how Hidari.
They're like brothers, but they're not the same person.
Exactly. So it's really weird how Hidari can use Sasuke's chakra as if he is coming from Sasuke. And I guess the connections are. There.
Actually, though, no. Well, hold on. Think about it, because just like Naruto and Kurama being brothers, if Hidari is like Boruto's dad, the Gale Palm or Windstar Breakthrough parallel, Sasuke's uncle Sasuke. So Hidari and Sasuke being like brothers would just make perfect sense. It'd be just like Naruto and Kurama.
That is a good point narratively. Immortal, how would you elaborate on that narrative point?
On the Kurama being like brothers with Naruto.
Exactly, because that's more specific of a connection than I was making. I made the broad idea connection that Boruto's just using it on the people that he cares about the most. But the familial ties are really interesting.
So, Hidari being Boruto's dad.
And Sasuke's brother.
Sasuke's brother. So, like, what, Hidari is Naruto in a way? But just has a bit of Sasuke's chakra?
Well, Hidari would be Naruto's brother.
Well, that's one option.
Yeah, which would make sense why they have similar chakra as well.
Well, I noticed that when Hidari first entered the village, they registered him as Sasuke Uchiha's chakra. Now, I don't know, like, it's different. It's completely different. It's weird in a way. He used Sasuke's chakra, but he's not really Sasuke in a way.
No, they're more like brothers.
It's weird that
More
he
like,
can use Sasuke's
so, like-
chakra, but he doesn't have Sasuke's chakra. He's Hidari, not Sasuke. So why does he have Sasuke's chakra?
They also now I think there could be a chance that now hear me out here. I was just really thinking about this probably just a second ago, but since Hidari is using Sasuke's chakra and Sasuke is trapped within the God Tree, and I've also noticed that when Hidari was really damaged by Boruto's Rasengan, when he flying Raijin to him and just completely eviscerated his left or right arm, he went right back into the Ten Tails dimension, and for some odd reason, the trees went down and repaired and regenerated Hidari's destroyed limb. So I'm just thinking to myself, okay, because I know there was a theory that the Ten Tails could probably still be alive. Not all of it has been separated, but it probably could still be there, repairing and just revitalizing the Shinju. Well, since Hidari is the only Shinju we've seen thus far go into the dimension and get regenerated and went back into battle. What I think is that I do believe that the Ten Tails is still there, but whenever that person gets trapped within the God Tree after being absorbed by the Claw Grime, their chakra could potentially go straight to the Ten Tails, and then accordingly, the Ten Tails could remake an entire version, Ten Tails incarnation or clone of that person, which is how Hidari could probably have been born. That's just my headcanon theory, speculation.
Interesting.
Until we get further confirmation of how the Shinju are created.
So I
like that idea.
I like the idea that Hidari's connected to Sasuke. There's also a rumor I heard floating around in the community that Hidari might have some sort of connection to the Ten Tails as well. I was wondering what your thoughts were about that.
Do you mean that Hidari is the Ten Tails? Or
No,
it's
no.
something else, like brothers or son, father, or
Yeah,
something?
like in the same way that Hidari has connections seemingly to Sasuke, Hidari might be connected or related in some kind of way or fashion to Otsutsuki or Ten Tails or something like that. Because we know that Hidari just sort of popped up one day out of nowhere. We don't know how or why or where or even when, for that matter. His name is Hidari. That's not connected to anything that came before. His name doesn't translate to anything in Japanese. He randomly came with Sasuke's abilities, and he has Sasuke's chakra, or he uses Sasuke's chakra and he doesn't have it, and then he doesn't even look like Sasuke, which again is really weird. So I don't know what they're trying to play with at his character, but he kind of to me doesn't seem human. So I'm wondering if he's not human, assuming he's not human, then could he be alien? And the only aliens we know are the Otsutsuki. So could he be connected to the Ten Tails, considering he connected to the Ten Tails in order to heal?
I mean, the problem with that theory is that if Hidari's going to be Sasuke's brother, he's got to be human. So the most he could be is half alien, half human.
Yeah.
Just keep being brothers.
Well, just like how Boruto turned half Otsutsuki, but now he's 80% Otsutsuki, but he started as human, so I don't know.
Well, he's 100% Sasuke according to Mapujiki, but...
It's a good point. Well... I
definitely think Hidari's more human than Boruto.
That's fair, that's fair.